Page 55. Oh, I saw your note, Dakota, going roller skating. That's kind of fun. I used to love doing that. Page 55. Here we are. So we're talking about clauses today. The cool thing is you guys know about these already, especially if you've taken my class before. We talked a lot about clauses, but a clause is a group of related words that contains both a subject and a verb. That is really important to remember. And it's different than a phrase, like a prepositional phrase, because a prepositional phrase does not have a subject and a verb in it. There are some dependent clauses we're going to talk about today. It's a clause that cannot stand alone as a sentence because it does not express a complete thought. So it depends on the rest of the sentence. That's why it's called a dependent clause. Dependent clauses begin with a word that causes them to be an incomplete thought. In this book, you've learned three types of dependent clauses. The who, which clause, you already know that. That clause, and the adverb clause that begins with a www word. You remember those words, the www.asia? Who can tell me what those words are? Liana, I saw your face. She's like, I know it's something. www.asia. Who remembers what those are? All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say it, stay muted, okay? I'm going to say it, you repeat it in your room, okay? When, while, where. As, since, if, although, because. As, since, if, although, because. Okay, again. When, while, where. As, since, if, although, because. All right, one more time. We just have to do it one more time. Three is the charm, right? Okay, here we go. When, while, where. As, since, if, although, because. Okay, now, does anybody want to do it by themselves? Because now you should know a little bit. Yes. Okay, Liana.
When, while, where, as, if,
As, since.
as, since, if, although, because.
There you go. You got it. Good. Anybody else? When, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. Chloe.
When, while, where, as, since, if, although, because.
Yes. Good. Anybody else? Okay, you should be memorizing this. Those are the words that begin an adverb clause. And on our checklist, they usually make the because clause separate. So usually the adverb clause on our checklist is when, while, where, as, since, if, although. And we don't add the because it's a separate clause. But it can be an adverb clause. All right, let's keep going. And then there's the main clause. A main clause is a clause because it contains a subject and a verb. That's the rule. It has to contain a subject and a verb. A main clause expresses a complete thought, so it can stand alone as a sentence, like this. Families lived in the forest. Families is your subject. Lived is your verb. It has a subject verb. It's a complete thought. It tells the prepositional phrase where they live. Families lived in the forest. Here we have two clauses in a row. Families lived in the forest because they lost their homes. This is considered an adverb clause because we have .b, remember in the www.asia.b, because they lost their homes. But that by itself, like if I took off the main clause and I just had because they lost their homes, that's not a complete sentence. That's why it's called a dependent clause because it has to have the main clause with it in order for it to make sense. Jump down here to this example. Usually, Robin practiced archery in the morning. Usually, the ly opener is not part of the main clause. The main clause has its own subject-verb pair. Robin practiced. And then if we jump down here to think about it, it says the word because. We're going to talk about that one today. usually begins an adverb clause, like we talked about, www.asia.b. However, when because is followed by of, the two words together are a preposition. So whenever you have because of, it totally changes the function of that word. Because of is a preposition, so you're not going to have a verb with it. It's going to be a phrase, a prepositional phrase. So when you say because without of, that's when it's a clause. That's something I tell you a lot on Google Classroom. I'm like, don't say because of. You can use the because of in your sentences, but you cannot underline it as a clause. That's what I'm trying to tell you when you write your papers. Clauses do not have of in it. The because clause. All right. Look down here. It says this is the preposition. Oh, look at the example. Sorry. The adverb clause says Robin aimed carefully because he wanted the prize. Starts with because, it has the verb wanted, and he is the subject. Jump down here to this one. Prepositional phrase. Robin aimed carefully because of the prize. Because of the prize does not have a verb in it. So it's a prepositional phrase. See that? Just that little tiny two-letter word changes the whole sentence. So when you're writing a because clause, don't put of next to it. That's what I want you to remember. We're going to jump over to page 57. And Esther, how about you read the sentence today?
Robin's followers declared that they would rob everyone who had robbed them.
Nice. Okay, declared just means like you're making a statement and you're like, this is the way it is with confidence, and I'm declaring.
Proclaimed.
The proclaimed, another good word. Yes. Very good. Check. Vocabulary. One noun, Chloe. There's only one. Where's the one noun? See it?
Followers?
Good. I'm glad you didn't say Robins because it has an apostrophe, so that's not a noun. Good. Followers. Pronouns. Emma, where are the pronouns at?
They,
Good.
them,
Good.
everyone.
Good. Yes, that is one of those. Remember when we talked about indefinite pronouns? Those are the ones that are vague, like somewhere, someone, everyone, anyone. Those types of pronouns that don't really tell specifically who they're talking about or where they're talking about. One adjective, Dakota. Where's the one adjective? Whose followers?
Robin's.
There you go. Robins. A good indicator is that apostrophe S. That's how you know it's an adjective because the followers belong to Robin. Okay, and that makes it an adjective. Who, which clause, Liana?
Um,
Who
Starts with who. Where's the whole clause?
had robbed them?
Who had robbed them? Very good. That's the whole clause. That clause, Esther?
it starts at the that, and I think it ends at everyone.
Yes, good. That they would rob everyone. That's the that clause. So we'll write that there.
Okay.
And then a main clause, Chloe. Where's the main clause? Got a lot of clauses in this one.
Robin's followers declared.
Good. Yep, that's it. So it's not going to include the other clauses here. It's just going to be Robin's followers declared. That's the main clause. That's what the sentence is mostly about. And then it's just telling what they declared. All right, so each one of these clauses, Dakota, has a subject-verb pair. Okay, some of them have more than one verb. So how about you help us find those subject-verb pairs in each clause?
declared as a verb.
Yep, got that.
Uh,
Who was it that declared?
the followers.
Good. Followers is the subject. That's that clause. Now move on to the next one.
Robbed.
Well, let's do the next clause, the that clause. So rob is a verb, and there's another verb there.
Would.
Good.
And then they is the subject.
Good, because they would rob everyone. That's good. And then the last one.
Robbed.
Good. And
Had.
good. Subject.
Who.
Yes, you got it. You nailed it. So a lot of times the who or the which is the subject in the who which clause, and it is in this case. Very good. And the opener, Liana, what kind of an opener is this?
Um, Is it a subject?
It is. It is a subject. Do you remember what number that is?
Number one.
Number one. Very good. This is a one subject. Even though we start with an adjective, that's okay. The subject is the first main part of the sentence, comes right after that. So it's a subject opener, capital Robbins, end mark, period. All right, they're going to throw in a bunch of clauses this week for your homework. So just remember, each clause has its own subject-verb pair. That'll help you figure out where they are. It wasn't so bad. All right, go ahead and put away your grammar and get out your binders. Uh, you guys wrote about Mike the Headless Chicken. That was an interesting story, huh? Kind of gross, kind of interesting. I got to show you a picture of him. Don't worry, it's not gory. Because back then the pictures were black and white. I guess it's maybe a tiny bit gory, but all right, let me just share this picture with you. Maybe you've already looked it up, but here he is, the infamous Mike, the headless chicken, with his head at his feet. Kind of sad, huh? But kind of cool at the same time. There he is standing. He was alive at that moment. So he's like, that's what he looked like. Anyway, last week, Esther read. Does anybody else other than Esther feel like reading this week? Anybody want to tell me? Oh, good. Dakota. Anybody else? Esther, I know you want to. Let's hear Dakota this week. And then we're trying to take turns, okay? We don't want to spend too much time sharing your stories, but I want to hear your stories for sure. So let's hear Dakota's. I know that Liana and Chloe, you guys haven't had a chance, or Emma to read yet. So maybe next week, okay? Because I want to hear everybody share something at some point. Okay, Dakota, do you need me to pull it up or do you have it?
I have it.
Okay, so tell us your title and then go ahead and read it.
Are we are we supposed to put a title? Because we still have two more paragraphs to do.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Did we just do the first paragraph? Is that what you guys did? Oh, I was looking at wrong notes. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, you're right. I'm glad you said something. We read the whole paper, but you only wrote the first paragraph about the owners in the accident, right? Okay. Thank you for saying something because my other class did the whole thing. So I'm glad you said something. So, yes, you don't need a title yet. Tell us, just go ahead and read your first paragraph.
On September 10th, 1945, the Olsons were processing chickens and accidentally, Mr. Olson missed part of a chicken's head with his axe. It was a 5.5-year-old Wyandotte
Note, uh-huh.
rooster whose name was Mike. Mr. Olson removed all the bulk of Meg's head and missed the jugular vein and 80% of its brain. Mr. Olson's accident was weird because chopping off the front of Mike's head and him still living is creepy.
Good. You gave your own little opinion there at the end. It's true. Very good. Let's give her a clap in the camera. You guys know what to do. Good job, Dakota. It's a good start. All right, I found my notes here. I think this is the right one. Okay, so we're gonna keep working on this because we drew a line here. Is that what you guys have? And then you guys finished this one, Roman numeral 1. I think that's the right one from this class. Um, yes. So we're gonna move on to Roman numeral 2 and 3 this week. Turn it over to the back. Did you guys write these down, the possible topics? Esther's saying no, and Liana's saying yes. Give me a thumbs up if you have this on the back of your keyword outline. Oh, Esther, I don't know why you don't. It looks like everybody else does. So turn it over to the back, Esther, and write this down because these are how we labeled each paragraph as we read the story. Remember that? We read about Michael that had this chicken. And then we made a list of the things that we made notes on in the margins. So, Esther, go ahead. Do you have a question?
I think I didn't get to it because my computer blacked out at the second.
Oh, yeah. You probably didn't watch the recording yet. We're
Yeah.
going to put a line through this one because we already did that. We already talked about the owners in the accident. We have two more paragraphs to go, but look how many topics we have. We have how they took care of him, his fame and sideshow, his death, how he was alive, and then after he died, like the celebrations, right?
Right.
They have. So you can combine some of these um, into a paragraph, or you can just focus on one of them. Let's see, what could we do? We could do maybe combine. I think these two kind of go together. Esther, you need to mute probably. These two kind of go together about what he can do and then how he became a sideshow because they kind of go together. So what you could do is combine these two for Roman numeral 2, and then we could do maybe how he died. You could combine a little bit of these to like how he died and then now what they celebrate. How alive? Yeah, you might be able to add like maybe a couple things from that paragraph. I mean, we kind of talked about it about the accident. Remember, it said it missed his main jugular and he still was able to function. Yes, Esther.
So, do we need to squish the rest of the paragraphs into two?
Yes, you don't remember what we're doing is summarizing. We're
Okay.
telling some. So you're not going to squish everything into two paragraphs, but you're going to tell some information. So what you can do is what I'm recommending here is we tell some about his death, some about how he stayed alive before he died. Maybe you move that
Okay.
first. And then some about after he died. So you're going to kind of combine a little bit. This is where it gets hard because there's a lot of good stuff in there. But this is what we're doing. We're summarizing. So you're finding the most interesting facts. But you can combine these in any other way. If you have any other ideas that you're like, man, I really want to put this with that, or I just want to do a whole paragraph about the sideshow because I really think that's cool. You can decide how you want to set up your paper. Okay. Anybody have any questions about what I just said about how to set this up? This is what I recommend, but like I said, if you have other ideas, go with what you're thinking. So the next part was about his abilities, his care, his fame, and the sideshow. So let's go down to number 2, Roman numeral 2 here. And we can do again MHC for Mike the Headless Chicken. And we can talk about his abilities. And the sideshow. Remember, that was part of the circus. There's still room for one more word if you want to think of something else to add there. Um, Something like miraculous or something like strange, because his sideshow, people paid money to go and see him. Or like, I don't know if you know the word anomaly. It just means it doesn't happen very often and it's like unique, it's like strange, and nobody was able to duplicate that. He's the only Mike in the whole wide world from the beginning of time who lived without his head. There you go. All right, so I see some things in the chat here. Let me check that really quick. Yeah, creepy for sure. So when you fill out Roman numeral 2, which we're going to do in class, I'm going to give you some time to work on this in class so we can catch up. You're going to look at only the paragraphs that have those topic labeled next to the paragraph. So the paragraph that talks about his ability and care, you're going to pull from that paragraph only for that part. I think that was, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Hold on. No wonder I'm confused. The second paragraph. So you have 5 facts. You can get like 2 from the second paragraph about his care, about his abilities. And then the fame and the sideshow, that's this paragraph down here. There's 2 paragraphs. Okay. So I'm going to give you some time right now to start filling in your keyword outline. I'm going to be right here if you have any questions. Okay. But you're going to look for interesting facts about his abilities and about the sideshow. And make sure you think about how would you make that flow together as far as what he can do, and then moving into who reached out to them, this guy Hope Wade, and then what the sideshow was, and that sort of thing. Yes, Esther.
Can I highlight the facts that I find interesting?
Yes, and we kind of did that last week, but yes, you can highlight for sure. Oops. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Go ahead and start looking for facts and building your outline, and let me know if you have any questions. Do you know what to do, Dakota? You're good? Okay. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you have at least one fact that you wrote down on your list. Okay, good. Okay. So keep working. And while you're working, I'm going to have you guys share one that you have. So I'll start with Liana. What's one fact that you wrote on your outline?
Um, Fact like as a keyword outline.
Yeah, one of these under 1 through 5. Just pick one. It could be any one that you wrote here.
I wrote word spread town.
Okay, good. Word spread town. That's a good fact. How about you, Dakota? What's one of the facts that you wrote down?
Um, I put he was um he attempted to peck the food.
Good. So attempted peck food or something like that. Okay, good. Nice. Chloe, how about you? Let's pick a fact that you wrote down. You guys can keep working while we're sharing.
The thing is, I wasn't here.
Oh, did you forget to watch the video?
Yeah, because I got back yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to catch up. Yeah, you're probably a little lost, huh? Go ahead and at least set up. Did you write this down already? Okay, good.
I'm writing it down right now.
Okay, go ahead and keep going. And then yeah, make sure to watch the video from last week and then you can catch up. How about Emma? Do you have a fact that you wrote?
Um, I wrote 2 weeks later, uh, Hope Wade came to the farm.
Good. Esther, how about you? What's one of your facts?
Um, uh, Betting live headless chicken. That chicken is a picture.
Okay, perfect. That works. So, Eliana, I see that you came in. Good morning. We are finishing up the outline for Mike the Headless Chicken. So you can get that out of your binder. And what we decided to include in paragraph 2 is his abilities and then the sideshow. And then there's one more word here you can add to that. So I'm going to give you just one more minute to look into those paragraphs that have the label of those titles or topics and find some facts, okay? And then we're going to go on to Roman numeral 3. Okay. Go ahead and finish up the one you're on. You're probably not all the way to 5, or maybe you're close to 5. That's good, but you're going to finish this later, okay, for your part of your homework. Keep going with your facts here about his abilities in slideshow, and if you want to add a little bit about his care. And then Roman numeral 3, this is what I put, but you guys can put what you want, okay? You don't have to copy this, but I have MHC again, his death, and then I just put later celebrations. So I just think that's kind of cool that they celebrate his life, especially in Colorado, because that's where he lived. That's where he was from. So it's kind of fun to write about that. So you can lead in from where you left off here in Roman numeral 2 about the sideshows and make sure you lead into that about what happened while he was on tour, I think they said. He was traveling. And use those paragraphs that talk about his death and then how they celebrate his life. So Does anybody have anything different than this that you want to share for Roman numeral 3? These are just my ideas, but anybody else have any other ideas of what you can put here? Okay. I'm going to give you like just 2 minutes to start working on this one now for Roman numeral 3 about his death and then the celebrations. I think we called that life after or after died. That's the same thing as celebrations. Okay. So you're going to kind of combine those right there. Okay, give you about 2 minutes and then we're going to do something else here. All done, Esther? Wow, okay, good. Go ahead and finish up the word you're on. How about you share one of your facts that you put for Roman numeral 3 down here, Esther?
Um, which one?
You can pick. You just pick one.
Uh, 3 tried copying X work. They tried to
Oh,
copy. Yeah.
yeah. Nobody could duplicate it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. All right, you guys, go ahead and finish up the one you're on, and then your homework will be to really finish. Some of you are done or almost there. The keyword outline for Roman numerals 2 and 3. I would like to look at, actually, let me do something else first. In your binder, behind the tab that says banned words, there's a blue page. There should be a blue page back there that looks like this. Yours has words on it. We have new banned words, and I don't think we've added them here yet. So go behind the banned words tab. Hopefully you put the blue page in there. Yes, Eliana?
I was just wondering if you guys had read the first paragraph yet, or we're just working on it until it's done.
Oh yeah, Esther read her first paragraph, or was it Esther? No, it was Dakota. Dakota read her first paragraph, but we'll share it next week when we have more time. Unless there's time at the end of class. Let's just kind of see how it goes, okay? Um, did you guys find the blue page? Give me a thumbs up if you have found it. Okay, good. You should have on here say said, seesaw, think thought, and that's it, right? Is that what you guys have? Okay, we're adding two more band words, which is eat, ate. Whoops, it's kind of dark. Let's see. Eat, ate, and go, went. So now the top part should have words all the way across, and then we have this one. So eat eight now is banned, which means you cannot use it anymore in my class. Obviously, you can use it when you're talking, or you can use it in other classes. You can even use it in your outline. But when you go to write the paragraph, you cannot use it. That's where you can't. So who can tell me another word? Let's focus on ate first. Think of past tense. What's another way we can say ate? If you ate something. Eliana.
Um, devoured.
Devoured. Good. And you guys can write it in the chat if you want to. If you think of a word you can say instead of ate, if you ate something, I'll look at the chat too. Or you can raise your hand. Dakota, what's another way to say ate?
Demolished.
Say it one more time.
Demolished.
Demolished. If you're super hungry, I demolished that cheeseburger in 2 minutes. And it's true. Okay, keep thinking. Eliana, you have another one?
Savored.
Ooh, savored. I like it. Is that how you spell savored? Check that. Seems right, but I don't know if it has another U in it. Savored. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, that's correct. Sometimes I have to double check. How about consumed? Chomped. I like that one too. Good one. Chewed. It's a pretty good list. Oh, sorry, Dakota. I see your hand now.
Swallowed.
Swallowed. All right, that's a pretty good list for 8, although there's more. So if you get to a point and you want to use a word and you don't see a good one here, go to a thesaurus, look up 8, ATE, and you're going to find all kinds of great words. All right, now let's move down to went. Like instead of me saying I went to the store, what's another way to get to the store other than went? Emma.
Arrived at.
Okay, good. And I'm going to put drove because we're going to make it past tense. That's good. Drove. What else, Esther?
Paraded,
Paraded.
scampered,
Oh, scampered. Okay.
fleed,
Fleed would be like to leave, huh?
charged,
Okay. I charged to the store. Maybe. Let's give other people a chance. I see you're looking up a list. That's all right. Dakota, and you can write those down too.
Walked.
Walked. That's a good one. Eliana?
Waddled
Waddled if you're full
and traveled.
and traveled, yes. Or even rode, like you rode your bike. All right. These are considered strong verbs. Most strong verbs have ed ending. That is on your checklist, just to remind you. And then stay away from using go or went or eat or ate. And that goes for like going or even gone or eating. Those words are also banned. So anything that has anything close to eat, ate, or go, went. All right, so now I want you to look at your checklist. So find your checklist in your stack of things for Mike the Headless Chicken. I'm just going to review this real quick. You've got your structure at the top. Everything's pretty usual, okay, except this topic clincher. That is super important for you to use from now on in my class. So get used to it. It's going to stay on your checklist till the end. And does anybody want to volunteer to do the topic clincher rule for me? Okay, Emma, thank you. All right, go for it.
The topic and clincher must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words.
Very good. Woohoo! Yes, yes, very good. Anybody else want to do it? Okay, go ahead. Eliana can do it. Everybody do the hand motions with her as she says it, okay?
The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words.
Yes. Woohoo! Good job. Good job. Anybody else want to do it? Going once, going twice. Okay. The topic sentence is your first sentence of your paragraph. The clincher sentence is the last sentence of your paragraph. Some people are thinking it's the first and last of the whole paper. No, 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 no. It is each paragraph. Topic clincher, topic clincher, topic clincher. So make sure you include that. And notice it tells you right here, highlight or bold. So you can decide, you can pick what color you highlight. Just don't do like black or dark, dark, dark purple. Stay away from the dark colors. But you can highlight them or bold them, make them a bold, okay? And then you've got your dress ups, and here they are: ly, who, which, strong verb, those are the ed words, and because clause. So you've got 4 in each paragraph, okay? So make sure you use them in each paragraph and you check them off as you go. Underline one of each. Okay, and then another friendly reminder is when you submit your homework on Google Classroom, I will give you feedback. I am a little behind on the feedback, but I'm starting with the most recent stuff and then I'm going to work backwards. But I put notes on there for you. So if you got a 9.5, that's not bad. Still a good paper, but you're missing something, or you you put a band word in there that you're not supposed to use. So if you get 9.5 or even 9.8, I've even given 9.8 and 9.9 before, like almost 10, but you're missing like one thing. So make sure you read my notes to find out what you're missing or what you need to fix. Fix it, turn it back in, and I'll give you the 10. Okay? You guys know that. Eliana, you're being goofy right now. All right. What else do I need to talk to you about really quick? Let me check my notes. The because clause. Oh yes, the because clause, the famous because clause, because now it's on your checklist. Let's look at that again. Do not use because of, like we talked about in grammar, because then it changes it to a prepositional phrase. So when you're looking for a spot for because, don't say because of. Say because and then tell why it is the way it is. All right, any questions about your checklist? No? Yes, Emma.
I was just wondering if we had to do all of the dress ups for each paragraph because I didn't put like 3 ly adverbs because we weren't done with the paper.
Great question. Thank you for that. That's a really good question. So in paragraph 1, this is how you look at this. So see that paragraph symbol and then the 1. So it just means that one of each should be in paragraph 1. So far you just have one paragraph. So far you only have one ly adverb that you underlined. You can have more than one in the paragraph if you want, but you only need to underline one of them. So this week when you're working on 2 and 3, that's when you need to make sure to add one ly and check that box. Go to the next one is who which. So in paragraph 2, once you add a who which clause, check that box. Once you add a strong verb, check that box. Once you add a because clause, check that box. And then go on to paragraph 3. Does that make sense, Emma? Good.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know what that little symbol meant.
Yeah, that's the paragraph symbol. So you read it down like this. So under paragraph 1, that should be one of each of those. Like I said, you can have more than one, but you only need to underline one of each. Good question. Um, since we have a little bit of extra time, because what we're doing is finishing up this paper about Mike the Headless Chicken, I would like to look at your paragraph that you already wrote and share that with everybody because it's good to look at it together. This is right here. Let me find it really quick. Yeah, we wrote one paragraph. So Esther, can I pull up your paragraph? Do you mind? Okay, cool. Let me share your screen. Because some of you are still working on those topic clinchers, and I really want to show you what they should look like. And I want to start off by saying, great job. You got your name and date, you got your title. You might need to change that because you're not done with your paper yet, so that part might change. I see your dress ups. I see occurred. That's a great strong verb. I see because, I see which, and tremendously. Great job with your dress ups. Now, you highlighted the first and last sentences, but remember the rule says two or three key words, right? And you have one, two, three, four, five, six, I don't know how many, 12 maybe. So I'm gonna have Esther look at this, and you guys think about this too. You only need two or three. Okay, so what two or three words do you want to pick, Esther, that match or repeat or reflect in your first and last sentences? Let's just pick two or three words. You got a bunch that repeat, so you can pick some like Mike. You see that, Esther? In fact,
I think I'll keep Mike. Um, let me see. I think I'll keep Mike. Mike that had this chicken stripe begin on the 10th of September.
I think you used green. Is that the right green?
I used that green.
Okay. So Mike and Mike, that's one.
Yeah.
And then what other? It can either reflect or it can be the same word, either way.
Yard. Right, yard. Mike this was tremendously um
I see headless. You could use that and chicken.
we could just do Mike the headless chicken.
Yes, except for we don't want to say that because
Yeah,
that is
Mike
not
headless chicken.
Mike headless chicken. Got it. Okay, so let me fix this really quick so you know what it's supposed to look like. Headless. And even though this has chickens with an apostrophe, that's okay. That
Okay.
still will repeat down here like this.
Okay.
This is how it should look. So everybody check yours. If you highlighted more than three, then that's too many.
Thanks.
Here we go. You're welcome. That's how it should look from now on, okay, Esther? And you can do just two, or you can do three like you did. And they repeat, and that's okay. Very good. Let me see if I can pull up somebody else's. How about Eliana? Can I pull up yours? Wait, hold on, I don't see you. There you are. Are you okay if I pull up yours? Yeah? Okay. So I always like to ask. Just to ask. That's your KWO. So yours is written. Oh, no, you typed it. Okay. The chicken is a zombie. Oh, you typed away a lot, huh, Eliana? You only needed to do the first paragraph, which looks like let's see. I see. You made it more like a conversation between Carla and Lloyd, huh? That's pretty good. I'm gonna have to look at that one later because you did a different take on that, which is fine. But I want to make sure to read it first. Okay, here's Emma's. Do you mind if I show yours, Emma? Okay, thank you. And she has Lloyd Olson an accident and Olson an accident.
I
That's
think
good.
I think Lloyd was an accident. I mean, yeah, I accidentally bolded that.
You're all accident, and we just were talking about an accident. That's funny. There we go. So now you got Olson an accident and Olson an accident. There you go. That's good. That works. And you've got because, and you didn't use because of. That's good. You have nearly. That's a good word. Which, that's a good word. I think you're only missing your strong verb, which is anything basically with an ed or ing.
Squirmed.
Squirmed. Perfect. That's a perfect one. Let me see where it's at. Oh, here we go. Yes. I'm going to underline that for you. So hopefully you guys are seeing as I'm checking everybody's work here, this is what I'm looking for. This would be a 10. I mean, I still have to read it and make sure it flows right, but you've got your 6 or your 5 dress ups. 1, 2, 3, 4 dress ups. Got your 4 dress ups and your topic clincher. Oh, by the way, when you add your paragraphs this week, you are going to literally add them to the same document. So when you turn your homework in at the end of this week, it's going to be 3 paragraphs total. You already have your first one done, so you're going to add to it. Does that make sense? It's supposed to be a 3-paragraph assignment. All right, I
Should
think I checked everybody's that turned them in.
should we just edit the one paragraph and add to it?
Yes, so I will return this to you so you can just edit the 1 paragraph and then submit it to the next assignment. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. All right, and I will return it to you for sure. All right, we still have a few more minutes, so here's what we can do. Does anybody else want to share, actually read their paragraph that you wrote about Mike the Headless Chicken? Okay, Eliana, I know you wrote more than one, but you can read yours. And Esther, I pulled yours up, but we didn't really read it yet. So, uh-oh, somebody got kicked off. Um, so Eliana, you can go, and then Emma, or was it Esther? Sorry, Esther. Emma? Not Emma. Wait, Eliana, Esther, and then Emma, do you want to read yours too? Okay, those 3. Go for it, Eliana.
All right. On September 10th, 1945, two people were unaliving innocent chickens and processing them to take to the meat stall until one chicken, whose name was Mike, began to squirm. The first person, whose name was um, Clara Olson, miserably failed to make a clean cut with their axe. I
This is a good reminder, real
Mike then
quick,
stood
right
up.
there. Hold on, because make sure you read it out loud before you turn it back in, turn it in, because it helps you when you read it out loud. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Mike then stood up, confronting Clara Olson with curiosity. Mike started to speak in his head. How am I still alive? Clara Olson, shaking with fear, shouted, The chicken is a zombie! Lloyd began to speak. No, I think we ruined the cut. Lloyd began to speak. Um, asked Clara. What do you mean? Asked Clara Olson. Look, the branch stem is still intact, and so is Mike's ear. Does this mean, mumbled Clara, we have a living beheaded chicken? Shouted the two. Mike tried to crow in excitement as well, but it sounded gurgly and disturbing. Lloyd and Clara glared at Mike in disturbance. Mike didn't understand why the celebration had stopped. Well, why don't we take Mike around town and bet people we have a living headless chicken, mumbled Clara. Sure, replied Lloyd. Eight,
Nice.
18 months later, Mike was a star. Life magazine had published an article on Miracle Mike the Headless Chicken. The Olsons got the news. Mike, Lloyd, Clara excitedly mumbled. Yes? Lloyd and Mike turned their heads towards Clara. Mike is a star! Mike and Lloyd jumped up in excitement like angels descending to heaven. Mike, who was still headless, started to dance like no one cared. Come on now, we have a tour to get to, exclaimed Lloyd.
Good job. Very good. I love it. Normally this would be like a report, but it's really fun because, obviously talking about a headless chicken, you got to put some humor into it. So I'm okay with that this time, Eliana, because I know it's a unique story. Very good. I love it. Okay, Esther, how about you? But the rest of us only wrote 1 paragraph, so you got a little ahead of us, but that's okay. I'm going to give you some feedback on Google later. But go ahead, Esther.
1 minute. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike the Headless Chicken's story began on the 10th of September, 1945, when an accident occurred on the Olson's farm. Lloyd and Clara Olson were butchering chickens and processing them to sell at the market in town. The next bird that was about to be butchered was a 5.5-year-old rooster, which is a Y1LB breed. Because he squirmed, the axe did not make a clean cut. He talked with the bulk of his head just missing the jugular vein and one of his ears. The miracle chicken was still alive and tried to print itself and eat. Mike the Headless Chicken is a miracle and is tremendously strange chicken.
Nice. Very good. Excellent job. Whoo. Okay, Emma, I know we're a little late on time, but that's okay. Go for it. Read your paragraph. Do you have it? Okay. Oops, hold on, you're muted. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, got
On,
you.
Sep- on September 10th, 1945, Lloyd Olson had a terrible accident. The Olsons were killing and processing chickens to sell at the meat market, and one of them was a 5.5-year-old Wyandotte rooster. The rooster squirmed. Because Olson's axe failed to make a clean cut, it removed most of the head but nearly missed the jugular vein and the brainstem. The chicken, which could still walk, was alive the next day. Little did Mr. Olson know his accident would be remembered for years.
Nice. I like that. Very good. And then you'll go into like what his abilities were and all that. Oh, it's going to be good. All right, you guys, that's it for today. You're going to finish up paragraphs 2 and 3 this week. Don't forget about your checklist. Give it a new title and watch out for those banned words. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.